Welcome back to Best There Is Podcast. And once again, it's us three. Do we still need to
introduce ourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should always introduce yourself at every podcast, right?
Like, I am Lucas.
I is Declan.
That is very odd to say, I'm not going to lie.
I am Steve Rogers.
I like to believe I was going more for the I am Weasel and I is Baboon. Do you have any idea what that is?
Nope.
Do you ever remember Cow and Chicken?
Barely.
Dude, fuck.
We've talked about age, so...
But, like, that's not that... that's, like, older than I am.
We're actually, like, almost 3 generations.
Yeah, but my brother doesn't know anything about that show either.
How old's your brother?
37.
Oh. You're comparing
Do
it to
you
me.
know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I need to know, is that somebody knows what I'm talking about.
That's the rough thing with us, is, like...
I am Weasel.
Our ranges of age, it's good to have perspective and ideas about things from where we all see it, but references go over each other's heads. I feel like a motherfucker, because I mean, shit, I'm old, you're mid-old, he's young, I guess. I don't know.
It's not child.
Close.
He's legal by 3 years.
Just, can we not put a number on my age, please?
Put some stank on it.
Can that, like, can something be sacred? I already got my name and eventually my face out there, right? There's nothing sacred. These fucking millennials with their side parts and their skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Stop wearing your side part and your skinny jean, Lucas, you fucking millennial.
Is that a millennial thing?
I think so.
Yeah. Actually, I was talking to him about this. No, I was talking to him about this not too long ago.
Yeah.
Is that's one way one surefire way to tell a millennial. And if you think about it, it is kind of true.
I guess I fall into millennial.
Yeah, but
weird.
it's mainly regarding skinny jeans and the swept hair to the side. It's an actual side part, and if you think about it, that was
the side part. They cut it in themselves.
Well, some
Like
people
will
will actually just push it over. It just depends what kind of cut they actually want.
Because sometimes a lot of people don't have a good side part, so they have to cut it in.
Yeah, like I said, it just depends on their hairstyle.
Yugi boy, it can go both ways, like a real man. I could comb my hair both ways.
More or less. Once it actually starts getting long, I can do that. Now it's just
Might as well just cut it all off.
Why?
Because you're starting to look like Lino from Thundercats. Lino.
Like Richie? I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, where are you going with that? I'm okay with that. I am a Leo for going, signs. I'll throw that out there.
Lame.
So I'm going to throw that out there.
Did I ever tell you, John?
That's why I have
I'm a virgin, so it's a good thing I'm a Virgo.
Did I ever tell you me and John had this whole conversation where he was trying to tell me his like tree symbol?
What?
Like what his birth tree was? He's like, I'm a cypress tree or something like that. And I was like, nobody cares what your birth tree is, man.
That does sound like something he would say.
That's what a dumb fucking... Out of
like
nowhere, he was like...
I recognize with the oak.
I don't know. I'm more of a maple tree.
Mm.
I have no idea what I would be.
Maybe we should go to war.
My tree tribe would not go to war.
You ever heard the song Trees by Rush?
No.
The whole song's about a war between maple and oak trees, I think.
Oh my god! I don't know how we got here.
Hey, it's got a kick-ass like 3-minute drum solo.
Normally we have good opening discussions.
This isn't bad. What are you talking about? We're talking about something obscure.
I think if people were like, I'm gonna listen to this pop culture podcast.
I'm just some Gen Zer talking about Rush,
Yeah, you just got to there though. But like, I'm gonna listen, and then we're sitting here talking about like trees and stuff.
So what are we talking about then today, mister?
Well, we're going to go over the WandaVision is over.
You want to go with that first?
Yeah, WandaVision finished.
Yeah. It's over.
Did anyone cry?
No, but I did feel sad as far as...
I know a lot of people that cried, but I did feel sad.
I felt sad hold on, Declan. Did feel sad just because the kid's going away and being a parent's like,
Yeah, but
even when Vision was going, in and out, because she still holds on to all that. Mm-hmm. So even imagine being in that spot.
You feel bad for Wanda.
Yeah. Declan?
Oh, I wasn't really going to say anything. I was basically going to say...
I'm soulless. I
only laughed when Ernie said that because you told me Donald cried during it, and I was like, that shocked me. I felt it was sad, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a heartless monster. Right?
I just don't think there was anything that was like, oh, I'm crying because
I can't get over the memes. I've been sending them to Ernie all live long day.
I can cry over a lot of stuff because I like to connect to things, and
because real men cry.
I believe that. But I also think, though, if you try to connect to something that's actually done right, and this was done well. But the biggest thing was all the fan theories were wrong, and people were not happy.
I think that's the community's fault.
Feeding into each other.
I think it's just...
I mean, no Mephisto.
Yeah.
That was a huge
thing.
No
Doctor Strange.
No Doctor Strange. People thought those are the two biggest ones. Nothing with her son didn't appear as the cat like everyone thought.
The bunny.
I'm sorry, I always say cat because it's Mr. Scratch. So
Agatha in the comics has a cat too. She's got like a black cat with her.
Well, that's right.
So
it was just, I don't know. I think after I watched it, I was pretty much like the whole time watching it waiting for something and not really focusing on the story at hand. And I'm just like, come on. Like, I wanted something fun and new and hopeful. Because, I mean, we already have a list of what's all coming out. So I want more of a tease and more. And this was it. This is the last thing we're going to get. So I'm like.
What?
For a while. You know, we're going to get.
Winter Soldier.
Okay, yeah.
Comes out like next week.
Cool. But I'm not going to get anything that this could have offered with multiverses and with X-Men and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things where this show had us guessing Bucky, Winter Soldier and Falcon isn't going to be like WandaVision. It's
I don't know. I think it'll introduce more characters than WandaVision did.
It may, but it's not going to have us guessing. And who could this be? What could that be? WandaVision, every episode has you scratching your head, putting clues together. It was a puzzle.
Well,
a huge puzzle.
I think that's just because we didn't think of it as what it really is, and that's just a story about Wanda. And in the whole series, that's what it really was. It was a story about Wanda, not the Marvel universe. It was Wanda's show.
Well, I mean, but everything, like, I mean, come on. They set up a lot. They cast fucking Evan Peters, Quicksilver, as her brother. The Fox fucking Quicksilver. Yeah. And they said that it was mainly to manipulate Wanda, not us. But I mean, come on, it's gonna make people. Well,
that was a small tease, but if you look at the whole show in entirety, it's really just about Wanda. It's about her.
Of course, yes, it is.
So there's no.
But us.
The only thing really connecting probably is at the end when she actually has the book and she's going through it. That is going to play later down the line.
But us having. Agnes, whatever, her having her dungeon, multiple rooms in there, we're like, okay, are those multiverses? There was just a lot that we kept feeding into that they kind of dangled in front of us. I want to say that, how did this get done? How did that get done? How many times did that guy have to say, you know, don't shoot me, I'm just a messenger?
He said it like twice.
I think it was 3 or 4 times. You could go back. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure because I was watching a review of it and nothing came from it. Jimmy Woo had a person that he had to get that was in there, never showed who he got. Rambeau contacted someone that we were supposed to see. She said it was going to be a big reveal, and there was nothing.
Sorry, guys. It's just hailing here, and
is that what it was?
We all got a little distracted here.
I just saw you guys freak out.
We don't get hail around these parts very often.
And then who was the other one that? Oh, Paul Bettany said he's gonna work with someone that he's never worked with before, but it was himself.
But that's like,
that's true.
Fine.
I mean, I
guess
he didn't lie to
he was being cheeky, but again, I think a lot of it was toying with the fans.
Well, no, I think
all that, and people got upset.
It's because the fans are crazy. The fans want whatever they perceive.
See, I don't care if I'm wrong. I just wish. I mean, if you dropped like Declan was mentioned Baron Mordo, I didn't even think about Baron Mordo. If you just threw that in there, that'd be kind of cool to see just someone else tie into this world. But I don't know.
It also could be, as far as Agnes being in there, showing the magic part of it. So showing what she can do, not what she will be doing, but what she can do. And now that she has that book, that means she has the knowledge of witches, right? Or at least some kind of magic. You told me earlier, or a couple days ago, it was like dark magic, bad side of the magic. But either way,
the Darkhold, I don't get it though, because it's weird. Because they just said Shield already touched on it, but for me, it's like it is something that you're not really supposed to use as a good guy, I guess, quote unquote. But it's odd that she took that and it's almost setting her up to be a villain, kind of. And that's what everyone's kind of grasping onto. So it kind of sucks because it should have been left more in the air. But that's why I think you couldn't have had Strange show up at the end and be like, I'm going to teach you. Then you're like, oh, she's going to be a good guy. And with this, you're kind of like, oh, she's going to be a bad guy. And I think what people think is she's going to be going through multiverses looking for her kids, basically. And Mordo is going to be jumping through them. And America Chavez, who's already been cast for it, she's able to go through multiverses as well and different things like that. So we have a lot of like time jumping that we're gonna see in that movie, but the movie's so far along the way. But that's another thing, that this movie or this show was supposed to be the fourth thing to come out, because before COVID it was Black Widow, Bucky, Eternals, and then Scarlet, or WandaVision, I'm sorry. So WandaVision was the fourth one and got punted all the way to the front due to everything. So who knows? They said they had to change a lot. There was supposed to be 10 episodes, but
it could explain why it feels so weird, because they had to change things.
Yeah, they said the 10th episode, not having that, it changed the ending, I guess, a little bit. Not saying the ending would have been the same, or different, I should say, but that they had to push things together and to happen in the same time or whatever. And I was telling Declan, the director was saying all this on Kevin Smith's show, and he even mentioned that they kept showing the fucking bunny and they didn't do shit with it. But I guess there was a whole scene of the kids telling Darcy and Spectrum, Monica, about the Darkhold. So they try to go the Darkhold, and the bunny like sits on it and won't let them get it, and then it transforms into a demon. And he says it's this whole big like Goonies type fight with the kids and Darcy and Spectrum trying to get the Darkhold from this demon. And the demon was supposed to be what did I say? It was Agnes or Harkness's
her son or whatever.
No, it wasn't her son. What's it called? Familiar? Is that
yeah,
what her familiar. This is what the director said. This was his words, not mine. So, and he wanted it to be a very American Werewolf in London. If anyone's ever seen that, the transformation is really weird, gruesome, like from animal to human. And this one would have, or human to animal, I guess, because he turns to a werewolf. So this one would have been a rabbit, like ripping out of his skin, turning into a human. I'm guessing it would have slowed down the storyline, because I'm guessing it was happening.
It would have happened after Darcy came in.
Right. Well, no. This was the last episode, I believe. And during when Scarlet, I think they even figured out when it would be. It was like when Scarlet was fighting the town people. So during that time, the kids were with them and whatever. That's when it would happen. So either A, it would have slowed down the episode, and then B, the CGI would have probably cost a shit ton. So I assume that...
Yeah, because considering that they did kind of go a little more sparse on the CGI in this last episode on some scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Not all together, but some scenes you just go...
Because they're talking... Because like, one dude made a mention of the shot, and we're talking about her looking like she's on cables. But I did like that shot, though, because the camera kind of pulls and zooms out while she's flying away, and it looks kind of...
The problem is that...
But it pulls into Monica being in Ralph's room, and that is a badass shot. They do really good shots where it's like Vision flying above, looking down, like, at the carnival or whatever. Like, they do good shots, but like, it's sometimes a little funky.
Because that, you could just tell. Cool. Like, oh, look at that. There's a background, and now she's in front of it.
Yeah, it is a little funky. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of green screen work they did.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole fight was green screen.
Yeah, one of my major issues was that whole fight. Was like, I felt like the Vision fight was really good. Like, you got a really good grasp, like when he's trying to pull the gem out of the Vision, and he phases through him and shit like that. Like that.
That scene was just
that
epic.
whole fight, and like they're like when he throws him into the ground, and then the Vision comes out of the ground, and, like that whole fight's so good because they actually use their powers. Whereas I feel like Agnes and Wanda were just having a Dragon Ball Z fight up in the sky. They were just throwing ki blasts at each other and shit.
But like I said,
the only thing they did was the ruins. But like Doctor Strange actually does like magic when he fights Thanos, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
like that's also a trained person versus a non-trained. And Agnes
could have done some actual magic.
But Agnes already knew she didn't have to. Agnes was letting her do that. She got complacent.
It's still
I know, but
boring, dude. It's just throwing it's red orbs and purple orbs.
It's the same trope that always happens when it comes to villains. They do their whole little monologue, and they get their ass whooped in the monologue shit.
Like I said, I explained to one of you guys, I forgot who, like the Vision. I think it was you the other night. Last night when I was talking to you on the phone, that they did the Vision versus Vision was nothing but pure fight and like protecting his family. That was it. Agatha.
Well, they have a whole philosophical debate.
Eventually, but Agatha and Wanda have a fight that is development. It's telling us a story within their fighting, and this happens in movies a lot, where we're learning about what's going on or whatever. But I think it's more of that, not just it's not Superman versus Zod, where they're just throwing each other through buildings and stuff like that.
Which Superman versus Zod?
What?
Which one? The Man of Steel one or the Superman 2 one?
That's not even Zod, is it?
Yeah, it's Zod.
Isn't he dead and it's a clone of him?
No, that's Zod.
No, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a clone of Zod.
It's basic.
But I mean,
it's Zod, man. It's as far as Zod as you get. Like,
regardless,
are you telling me clones
both,
that are genetic duplicates aren't basically the same?
Both are basically them getting thrown around.
Yeah,
and that's not really what happened with them, because they did have moments, but of course there's a lot of dialogue. And
did you understand the ship of Theseus? They were kind of talking about.
Well, yeah, it's once someone like. I think you were here with me that night, and I was like, "What was he talking about?" And you start explaining, I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's the famous, whole thing. If you keep replacing something,
is it the old thing or the new thing?
Is it still? Well, it's a very interesting.
One of the prime examples is your skin. You technically shed your skin, all of your old skin, within a certain amount of years. And your cells die and regenerate.
Stupid.
I still think the boat's a better analogy than skin.
Because our organs are in us.
Yes, but the cells die and then regenerate all the time. So technically, you're not the same as you were 7 years ago.
But our soul.
Yeah, but that's the same. That's the same thing about the ship.
A boat is a boat.
Yeah, but the whole point of that is also it's about the ideological. Think of that. It's an idea that is the ship. Is it still the same? No.
What they explain it as is both parts of the ship. That's what they come to the conclusion is that the new version is the ship. Because it's learned all of the lessons of the old ship, but all the dismantled, rotted, all that shit is also the ship because it's the memories of the ship.
Yeah.
And that you need both, and that's what kind of like White Vision
rebuilding
was the new ship and Colored Vision was the old ship.
Rebuilding your computer slowly but surely. If there's none of your old parts are part of it, is that even your old computer anymore?
Well, usually your hard drive will probably stay the same for the most part, or whatever you're keeping your files on might stay the same, but basically, yeah. I
guess you would transfer it over to a new hard drive if you did do that. I don't know.
Wouldn't necessarily need to do that. but
Mr. Tech Wiz over here just like
where did White Vision go though? Is he gonna assemble the Avengers now?
No. What?
Where'd he go? He pieced out in the middle of the fight.
I don't know, he's gonna go build a boat somewhere.
What?
That would be awesome.
Now isn't he just Vision though?
Well, he just gave him. He gave him all his memories.
No, he did. What I interpret that scene as
you saw that it's like flashing, and he's like,
yeah,
and it showed everything.
Kind
of like when Ultron scanned to see what the world.
I don't remember him freaking out like that. I remember his eyes.
No, I just was making the noise of like how it showed it flashing really fast, like of all his life. It showed all Vision's life.
Whatever. I interpreted it more as like it's like. He's just making him come to the realization that he's the same old Vision, basically. That he's still got to do some soul searching to find that shit. It's not like he's just immediately the same old Vision. That there might be some.
Well, I mean, some
relief time between when he's White Vision when Vision comes back.
No, because if he was, he would have came back in the fight. He wouldn't have just ran away.
I just think anyone that just gets...
Where did he go?
All their memories that come back to them is going to make them shook.
That's my constant question.
But if you have, and you are technically... I mean, I don't know how flashing memories in works. So
He didn't give him the memories. He told me he had the memories from the get-go. That somebody had locked him away.
He just,
well, either way, the memories were still flashed into him.
Yeah,
he was restored.
Exuberant
He was
speed,
restored
so-
to have all the memories.
But then wouldn't Vision, being how high intellect he is and how
But like I
perceptive
said, I
he is,
think
immediately just go, oh, Wanda needs help. Like, I think that was I think it was a little odd that he was just like, Superman
was
the hell
odd.
out of
it
that.
It was odd that he left. I won't lie.
And then you had just
But
the make-up Vision.
Wait, was the
fighting.
Hex still up when he left?
No. The Hex was down this... Well,
No, the
actually,
Hex
no,
was
the
still
Hex was
up.
still up.
Did she have it cracked open though?
No, because she closed it once.
No, because that was before they battled in the sky. Because when they were in the building, it was just like normal lights.
No,
outside.
she was breaking it up. Because that was before Vision ran over there and started breaking apart.
That'd be funny though. Vision just like dips out of there and immediately hits the top of the fucking Hex and just gets
I
disintegrated.
think
as
he could
goes
go through it though.
Probably. He's made of vibranium, but
Well, so was the other one.
no, the other one's not made of vibranium.
Yeah, because she stopped the Hex afterwards because all the soldiers and everyone
Yeah, that
were
was-
able to enter in. And that's when it was actually kind of down. Then she stopped because, yeah, she was seeing her family die.
And speaking of which,
Oh yeah, Mr. Asshole at Sword is like nobody too.
I got mad that the Hayward guy just gets arrested like a Scooby-Doo villain, and then Darcy and Wu kind of didn't get their due, or I wanted them to have like a cool moment. Darcy kind of got the little, now you're going to jail or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean,
She didn't do
she didn't do anything in that
Neither
show
did
besides
Rambo.
like the first 3 episodes.
Oh, and you know what they said? That they were going to air the first 3 together, and they wouldn't let them. That would have made people a little more interested, I think, in the beginning. Because 3 starts off with the half color, half not color, or whatever, or real world. That's where it starts it. Because after 1 and 2 together, I was just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
And then 3 is when they introduced the outside world,
Yeah.
right?
So if they did all 3 together, it would have been more like, okay, I get what they're doing.
And it's actually not that bad of a runtime. It would have been an hour and a half for all that.
Probably. But like 1 and 2, like
I mean, each
was
episode's like
tripping.
17 minutes of credits, so
I was
mean,
telling him that earlier.
those people deserve to be credited
Like,
by all
holy
means, but you don't
shit.
have to. You don't have to artificially.
They went
extend.
slow speed on
Yeah,
that.
They really did.
Let's go Halo 3 slow fucking for 10 minutes.
The kids were great in it.
They
I'm
were.
gonna have a hard time if they don't bring the same kids, but I don't see them. I see them being recast in the future because they'll be older, maybe, or I don't know. But I think the kids.
Maybe
did,
they come when the X-Men come.
I think the kids did great, and I think they did really good this last episode. I loved kind of the throwback to Quicksilver with God. Why am I drawing a blank on their names? Tommy.
William and Thomas.
Oh, their names?
Yeah,
Dude,
Billy and Tommy.
I think so.
Tommy doing the whole Quicksilver where he ran and grabbed all the guns and put one of the hats on his head. That's what Quicksilver did in the X-Men movie where he puts one of the caps on his head. So I thought that was kind of cool, a nice little throwback. But like and then Monica Rambeau came in at that point, and I think it's cool because like
Doesn't he also do that in X-Men?
that's what I said.
First, I didn't.
I said I thought that was a
because
cool.
I just watched that. Rewatched.
I go,
that
that's a
movie
cool
recently.
callback to Quicksilver. That's what happens when you go pee in the middle of a podcast. You miss things. But no,
But Monica didn't do...
she didn't do too much, but like, I don't know. It made her powers look cool. I don't get what they do with that.
Well, I don't know.
She turned into,
why,
like,
why did
gelatin?
she just has all powers? Like, she could just do whatever? Because, I mean, it was weird.
In the comics, it's a lot different, but of course, they always go away from the comics. But the whole, I don't know, like, she's supposed to have this heroic moment, but the kids kind of had it handled. And even Billy stopped the bullet that she didn't stop with his power. And she's like, oh, I like your powers.
And I think that the Quick son, I don't know what her goddamn name.
I believe that's Tommy.
Tommy would have just been like, "Oh, let's zip out of here before the bullet." I guarantee you they
that's the
would
thing
have.
too. Is I didn't get why he didn't like stop the bullets and stuff. But I don't know
Because different universe, different laws of physics. We don't have a Quicksilver that can slow down time and go whoop 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 whoop.
Yeah.
That's in the X-Men universe.
Could catch time
well,
in a bottle.
the weird thing with that part is like if Superman's faster than a speeding bullet, this Quicksilver is like times 5 that.
Dude,
if he's
Superman's way faster than a speeding bullet. What are you talking about?
the Quicksilver is faster than him in the X-Men movies. There's no way.
Than Superman?
Yes, there's no way.
Which version of Superman?
I don't know. Take your pick. The Quicksilver.
Well, is Quicksilver
in-
fast in the Flash?
in that X-Men movie,
No,
yes.
because the Flash can run through time.
Okay, in that X-Men movie,
He can't
he
go
is moving
fast.
or
yes.
he's like grabbing bullets and
Yep.
like moving them around.
That's not that fast.
Oh
Bullets
my
move at
God.
like dude. Bullets move at the speed of sound.
No, he's not talking about. Yes, bullets move fast, but the speed, the distance in which the bullets
I'm
moving,
not
which means and he's moving normal speed, and then he's moving fast as well.
I'm not arguing that Quicksilver's not Flash. I mean, is not fast. I'm arguing that just because he's
I'm
able to
arguing
move
the way Fox
in
presented.
somewhat frozen time is not like it's not like that's never been done by any other speedster, and like it's not like that's like the first time anyone's ever moved a bullet
I've ever
or caught a bullet or
seen
anything.
on film.
Well, on film, that's what I'm talking
There's
about. There's
not
way
been,
more of
who has moved faster than that Quicksilver.
on film.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing whether on film or not. The other scene is way more impressive where he runs through the whole building as the base is exploding. That's way faster.
Well, that is probably faster, but I'm going off of just the idea of grabbing a bullet where
Ozymandias grabs a bullet. He's just a
Who?
regular man. Ozymandias grabs a bullet. He's a regular man.
who?
Ozymandias from
Watchmen?
yeah. There's a whole thing where they're talking about it.
There's
in
a
the
difference
movie.
between grabbing a bullet and
I
being
know.
able to go. Now the bullet's still moving that way.
no one can see what you're
Instead
doing.
of-
But you
Yeah,
don't
moving sideways.
You don't think the Flash
touching
should
it
do
moving.
that?
No, because the Flash has never been shown to do it.
That's the whole thing. Is
Except for, I would like to point out the Flash
like when the
can run so fast he can run through
Yes, but
time.
there's a difference between moving and actually moving fast and then being
to move
legitimately
through time,
fast.
you
Yes.
have to move at the speed of light, which is the fastest anything can move.
Yeah.
So that
but
means that he can move.
I think it's
he has never done anything to the point where he has moved things around like that.
I think it's a different concept of when you're
It is
running and going through time.
Yeah, because he has to kind of.
it's just like Superman flying to go back in time. He had to turn the Earth backwards.
Yeah, there's so many things wrong with that, but whatever.
But yeah, he had to turn the
yeah,
Earth
that
back,
doesn't make any sense.
turn the Earth back or spin it backwards instead of him actually like going back through time. He did it. He had to like do that. So with I don't know, like I said, the way Quicksilver,
But it's also
moves,
it's
a lot
really
different.
weird to portray it that way, because if you portray it that way, then you're saying he moves faster than anything that's known to exist, to the point where he can actually still be quick, faster than that. Because I think even in the Xavier house explosion, he
Dude,
was still
stopped-
speeding through.
He sees the explosion. He stops, pops his knuckles, and goes like, "Let's do this."
And then
kind
he's
of,
still moving
while it's
fast.
going-
yeah, so he's slowing down time. Then he's moved faster than that to the point where
That's what-
he's still like that's absurd.
I've told everybody I love those scenes. They look really good.
Oh, they're great. Even
But-
his attitude and everything.
but
But
like it doesn't make sense. It looks like he slows down time. He doesn't run fast.
yeah,
That's what it looks like. His power is slowing down time.
maybe that's it. Maybe they just want to show that he can slow down time opposed
they
to
never
being
say
super
that.
fast. Yeah, it's odd because
So apparently, somebody calculated in the Flash and not the Flash, the Quicksilver in the X-Men movies was running 188 kilometers per second. Just
I don't know
Yeah.
how fast that is. I
That's
can't do.
fucking
I know that's
fast.
fast.
I would
But-
like to point out it's not as fast as the Flash's top speed of 23 quadrillion
Flash-
times the speed of light.
Are you going off comics? Because Flash is written broken where he can like, if the Flash is the fastest he says, and his brain works that way too, like reading books and all that, the Flash would drive himself insane.
No, he wouldn't.
He couldn't. Couldn't process things.
He can. That's part of his abilities.
Yeah, that
Is that his brain
that is part
and
of
his
him.
metabolism?
It'd be
all
too
of
much
that,
all
and
at once
heals
for him. He
faster.
would be-
No,
he
that's
doesn't.
why he's able to. That's why he's able to have that power.
Yeah,
because he's
it's-
able to do that.
He's part-
Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to be the Flash.
It's like if your whole body moves fast. Every aspect of your body moves fast,
Yeah.
from your metabolism
That's-
to your heart rate to your eyesight to your brain speed.
Well, it's just
Everything gets supercharged.
It's just like it could be your weakness. What was it? What did Batman do to Flash? Or he couldn't stop running?
420,000 miles
Was
per
that his
hour.
contingency plan for him?
He had some kind
He
of
does something
power
on him
or
where
some
he
kind of
makes
where he
it
has to make sure he runs all the time.
He has to, and he can't stop running or something.
But
like that.
you know, in that movie, they changed it all where they had bombs on him.
Yeah.
and he was able to phase through a fucking iceberg.
I calculated his speed into miles per hour. It's 420,544 miles an hour.
See, I haven't seen him.
Flash?
I haven't seen him run that once on screen, so
I
I can't
fine.
because I don't know how they can
Well,
portray that.
there's
on screen.
I think there's a difference between top speed,
Well, the fact
how
that
fast you
somebody-
can actually go, and how fast.
Do you think he's
naturally
running
and
his
do
ass
normal.
off in Man of Justice League?
No,
When he's
'cause
fighting
tripping
Superman?
all the time. That's like the worst interpretation of Flash.
I'm going off of just the recent Flash.
As
Wouldn't
far
you rather
as
go off like the
where
TV show
where
Flash?
he's shocked and he's looking at like Superman's moving his eyes, watching him run.
yeah, because that's like his average. That's what he would. That's what
That's like
he
a
naturally
jaunt.
thinks he's running.
It's a jaunty
Because otherwise,
pace.
why wouldn't he run faster? Why wouldn't you immediately run faster the moment you realize he's on the same speed as you if you can run faster?
I would just thought he'd run his fastest to stop Superman.
That and apparently that's his fastest. Because otherwise, why are you fighting at that speed? It makes no sense unless you can't maintain that for long periods of time. But if we look at Quicksilver, that's Quicksilver normally. He's just doing that. Flash going through time has to
Yeah, I
work
think
to get up to that.
Fox really fucked up and broke him.
Yeah, because
But
I mean,
it's for
doing it
good
with,
scenery,
he's doing
but-
it with ease. That's the problem, and that's the weird thing. Flash, when we watch him in movies and comics, you can see that he has to push himself.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we see Quicksilver pushing himself in the explosion scene? Nowhere.
Yeah,
Nowhere. So I think that's very
goofs off in between. But
I think that does show the difference between, at least as far as base what can somewhat be done television wise, which I mean, if you go based upon Justice League movies, they're not the greatest at,
well,
portraying
there's only
powers.
been one Justice League,
And it was, eh.
and it ends with him and Superman racing, but they don't show who wins, right? I don't know. They race each other at the very end of the movie.
Interesting. Apparently, the Flash in the TV show is hella slow. He's like top speed's like 806 miles per hour.
That's weird because
Isn't that's like not fast at all? That's like as fast as a supersonic jet, right?
he vibrates through buildings though.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Quicksilver can't vibrate through anything.
I don't know.
How fast do you have to move to vibrate through molecules?
I have no idea. I don't.
But that's also what I was saying. There's a difference between, because this Flash has to work on that though, focus on doing that, right?
I would think
It's not something that he
some
can just immediately
point-
like vision power his way through that, right?
Every time it's shown, he just kind of does it. It's not like a thing that takes him that much. He just vibrates himself really fast, sticks his hand through something, and grabs something out.
Well, if
Actually,
it's
that
never
is true, 'cause I have
it's
seen him do
Flash
some
on
of
the
those.
TV, I know he had to concentrate a little bit, and he had to
Well,
focus.
I think it also depends which.
When you learn it,
'Cause they
once
have
it
him-
becomes a learned thing,
because they
it's
have
just
him.
repetition.
They have him on the headset when they're trying to tell him that he has to keep pushing it to like to go.
How
vibrate
fast do you
through
have to
the
slap
wall.
a chicken to cook it?
What?
Sorry, I looked up how fast do you, and that's the second thing that comes up is how fast do you have to slap a chicken to cook it. Like if you were to slap a chicken, how hard would you have to hit it for friction to cook it?
really, really hard.
Probably really
Probably
fucking hard.
outrageously hard.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Like, even trying to fathom that,
Yeah.
it's just like is it talking about the friction of the
That's
air?
like people that put eggs
Because
out.
that's a lot of friction.
Eggs out like on a hot day and stuff. Sometimes that doesn't even cook it, and that's just from the hot sun or whatever. But you imagine like creating heat just by one fluid motion.
because it's going through the air at such a fast rate that that air is heating it up.
So I just looked up how fast does an object have to move to go through something, and the only thing that's really can do that is electrons, and they move at 2,200 kilometers per second, which is 4,921,260 miles per hour, which would mean if any version of the TV flashes phase through an object, that convincingly makes him faster than Quicksilver.
Yes, but I'm just saying that as far as power wise, it's like Quicksilver's not going fast. Quicksilver is slowing down time essentially. He's going so fast that it actually slows down time. I don't think
Is that?
I don't
I've
think
heard people say that, but is that proven? Can I look that up? Is that like the directors come out and said this?
No, of
Quicksilver's-
course not. They just
no,
want
but it's
him
just
to
the
look
way they
fast.
portray it, and it's just very odd to portray it that way because it does make it seem like. that
Well,
he
if
just
you
has
could
an
move
ease.
really fast, right? You would. Time is relative, right? So
Yeah.
the faster an object
I mean,
moves, the different
if
it
we're going
perceives time.
to the CW one, we'd actually have to like watch.
So
the
you don't
clips and
even-
shit.
you don't even
'Cause I
have
watched
to-
those episodes and I quit after.
You don't even have to
That season.
manipulate time to manipulate time. You just have to be really fast.
Yeah.
So like him just being fast in general means I don't know. It always made sense to me because that's just how he would perceive time.
Yeah, everything would be. I mean, hence the reason why, like Ernie said, or
I don't
told me
think
before,
he's
like super
slowing
impatient because he just perceives everything so fast. And same thing, I can imagine the Flash being the same way. Just in general, I mean,
Well, Barry Allen's just a different person. Like, it just
Well,
depends
any
on
Flash
right?
seems pretty balanced. Besides,
Well, no, Wally
Reverse
West.
Flash.
Wally West is kind of a he's like one of the slowest Flashes, and he's kind of a goofball. Barry Allen's like a he works for the police. He's
but they're all like balanced.
CSI
investigator. They're not impatient and stuff like that. They're
no, the one in the future is. I can't remember his name. Impulses.
Impulse from the New Teen Titans.
I think so. It's one of them, at least. Yeah, I can't remember which one.
But anyways, we have gone on an outrageous tangent about
we covered
speed.
We covered a lot of WandaVision already, so I was like, if you guys want to keep talking about fast people,
yeah, I don't think there's really much else to talk about when it comes WandaVision. It was all right. Well, actually, the only thing we have not touched on is that there was no Luke Skywalker moment. There wasn't anything, unless
and there was two
end credit scenes
that did nothing really for me.
Scarlet, that was interesting. Like, okay, you are reading and now she actually does look kind of maniacal in that. I don't know if it's just the red, but the way she looks, even her eyes. Maybe it's just
well, and they also
red.
say that everyone that goes into astral plane usually has to be like resting on the ground, meditating, and she's just like walking around while
chaos.
Could it be two different versions of her too?
I don't know.
Could the Scarlet Witch in her have just created its own persona?
I hope not. I don't want to see like Vision versus Vision, Scarlet Witch versus Scarlet Witch.
Because I mean, she was saying.
Can we talk about her costume?
Yeah, hold on. She was the evil witch, Agatha. I don't fucking know.
Agatha Harkness.
She was saying like, you don't know what you've done once you unlock that power. So it could be, kind of like a Phoenix-esque thing going on where they make it so that Scarlet Witch is its own entity with inside of
they kind of did that though with the book. Kind of explained like when she's up there on the fucking whatever the ad. What is that called?
What?
Where Agatha's
she's on
chilling.
The billboard.
Billboard.
Oh,
I said the ad where she's up there like talking about what the Scarlet Witch is. Like,
yeah,
you're gonna become it and you get structured or whatever, and that all like. Whatever. Everything that's happened during her life was her basically building blocks to this moment, basically.
Also, yeah, you guys want to know how hard you'd have to slap a chicken to cook it?
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
3,725.95 miles per hour.
That doesn't seem that
apparently it's as fast as you need to
impossible.
slap a chicken to cook it.
Huh? I have to see proof of that. But I don't think.
Which
it would survive.
I don't think anything.
Now we know. Okay, so here's what it says. It says now we know
Well, you'd get a raw chicken though.
that to cook a chicken in one slap, it would require a velocity of 3,725.95 miles per hour, which is humanly impossible. However, people were not disappointed with the answer. Naturally, they rejected by turning this explanation to a viral meme. So yeah, I guess you could probably. I wonder if we have a tool that could fling a chicken that fast.
But I think that it would at some point just break apart before it actually even cooks.
Probably.
Because the only reason why like meteors don't fully disintegrate is because
are you telling me a meteor has stronger structural integrity than the common chicken?
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, it seems like protein.
I feel like it's a
aren't
whole
all
what
that
comes
strong.
first, the egg or the chicken? Because
Might have to be the egg.
Yeah, how hard do I have to throw a
is the chicken
egg
going to break
hard-boil
before it cooks?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. What's going to happen? Is it going to cook or is it going to break?
Yeah, that's what we were talking
So
about.
which one is it?
It would most likely
we
have
both
to break.
agreed that would probably break.
Because anything that you shoot out, you see
Would it have to be
cannons.
hit to be broken?
No, because you can watch
Or just
cannons.
the momentum coming towards it?
Just momentum coming towards it.
It also depends on how you shoot it, but I think I've seen gas-powered or air-power cannons, but it could just be the fact that how fast the air is coming through that it's just shredding the chicken, but we don't have any means of shooting the chicken without having some kind of force behind it, and that force probably would destroy the chicken.
I mean,
Unless you have it going against something metal, and then the thing shoots
what
it back.
about astronauts have to go with G-force and shit like that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Unless they had a brace to push it, but then I think at the point that it hits,
I just imagine strapping a raw chicken into a gyroscope and just
That's what I'm saying.
Spinning it around.
Yeah, just like putting
It's
a
not
chicken
that-
in some kind of
I
like
don't-
machinery.
but at that point you are. I don't know.
definitely need a
That's just some that's just physics talk. But enough with the physics.
everything.
Let's go into
Again,
Wanda's
like I said, I
costume, which
call
is
this,
actually.
this is our game nights,
I
and
really like that
I feel
costume.
like
It was a
I
good,
think she
good
looks
color.
great in it.
It wasn't shiny. Yeah, it was good. It was solid.
Her headpiece is really well.
Yeah, everything about the costume, and it's not
gonna go into
you know,
phasmophobia once again.
overly sexual.
Yeah,
She just looked.
I think she
She
looked
looked
good.
amazing in it.
She looked good in it,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like she had to show anything.
Yeah, it was great.
But yeah, like I said, the headpiece I was worried about. I knew she was gonna get it, just because those moments where she was getting like a little like aura of it, of the horns or whatever.
Also, I want to know why she flew away in it.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. She
Like,
she could have just stayed in her hoodie.
yeah, like what would have been? What's more obvious? I don't know. Either way, it's
Do you know
odd.
what's weird? And I guess Kevin Smith called it out. Was there's a scene that you can catch on that last part where you could tell they reshot it, or they added her into it or something. It's when she says, like, I don't know what these powers are, but I'll learn it or whatever. They added that in after they were done. So if you watch it, I guess you could see where Kevin Smith caught it, which he's a director. He could tell by the lighting and stuff like that. So we could watch it again.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Recalling that scene, it did seem a little odd.
If you look at that, her hair is a little different.
Yeah.
And it's a little darker at that point. Then it cuts back and she's like leaving or whatever.
But
So
I
it's
personally,
weird.
I probably
I don't know why they wanted to add that in there though. So bad.
I don't know. Some explanation.
dude. Maybe
End credit.
again, maybe it's just
Maybe.
maybe it's just because what they had to
A little
do
bit of hand holding.
to get it out there, because we already talked about how they had to make shortcuts and condense things. So maybe that was part of it. They had to go, okay, this doesn't make sense, so we have to throw this in.
I think even if they didn't throw it in and we just saw her practicing, we kind of like, oh, okay. Because we learned when she put the ruins up, we're like, okay. She's
learning.
She's learning, okay.
Clever girl.
Which was a cool scene.
Yeah. The only thing, like I said, I kind of didn't buy the whole Harkness being behind all of it. That gave her way too much credit, but I guess that's why
But she wasn't behind all of it. Wanda was also.
Yeah,
behind
that
all of
was
True,
the
true.
That was the whole thing. You know, it's Wanda's show, Wanda's world. This is all
Wanda's
about
world,
Wanda.
Wanda's world. Excellent.
And Agatha just happened to go, oh, what's that energy? What's that power?
I want to know
go.
how she got into it.
I want to know about the building.
Because we know she got in. Her husband Ralph was just
Boner.
Ralph Boner, and that we hear about it all the time, and nothing came from it. And then
With his fucking magical puka necklace.
and then they had the dungeon underneath. So it's like she had to go do this all under Scarlet's nose. How did
Which
all that
wouldn't-
happen?
Because she's got magic.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been that hard. But when did she? Was she knowingly doing it the whole time? Right? She was doing the witch the whole time. She was. She wasn't bewitched by Scarlet at all. Correct?
No,
throughout the whole thing.
No.
So
And we actually, I think, have talked about that numerous times, that you could tell that.
yeah, she.
Same with we said before about the fake Pietro, that he's like not acting like how everyone else is acting.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
You want to do that take again? That's all I remember.
Yeah.
That was a weird scene.
But like dude, what was he trying to tell her at the fence? Like, all of us, we're all, and then she makes him like not say it, and everyone's like, they're all going to be dead. Like,
I don't know.
but there's a lot of things that I feel like,
Wanda's keeping kids in closets.
and yeah, that's
That's
when
kind
you
of
know
fucked up.
where he's like, hey, it's me and your brother.
Yeah,
Where
did
you
she
getting all
just
these-"
get off scot-free for taking hostage an entire town?
Yeah,
She's an Avenger. She just pulls the Avenger card.
I guess because no one,
I saved the universe like twice.
no
so-
one came after her. That's the weird thing too. Hayward like got arrested. Jimmy, I guess, was just like, I'm just doing FBI shit.
Tired of these mother effing hexes on my mother effing Earth.
And then, yeah, that was kind of weird. I didn't really think about that. Like,
Yeah, I did find it again odd. It was just
no guns drawn on her or anything. She just left.
well, the army did. The good guys maybe not so much.
No, but at the
'cause-
very end when she talks to Monica and all that.
yeah.
This crazy ass woman that made a whole like city hers.
That gave you superpowers, Monica.
Hey, they had empathy.
No, they
They-
said Monica
they-
had powers beforehand.
From where?
Mutants.
But Photon's not a mutant in the
They
comics.
think they're gonna make her one because
That's really stupid.
why?
Because that doesn't...
You know, Ultron wasn't built by Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, right?
Yeah, but logically that makes sense within the universe.
Logically, it makes
Because
sense for
Hank
us to have
Pym wasn't a
people.
character at the time they decided to do the Ultron story.
Actually, Hank Pym existed way before that.
But not they didn't
yes.
have it. No, when did he show up in any of the movies?
He showed
may
up in
have
Ant-Man, but he
may have
existed before
existed
that.
in the universe, but didn't. There's
Doesn't
no
matter. They could have made it. He did Ultron all the time.
No, they didn't though because they didn't know he was going to be in the universe. Well, they
doesn't-
probably figured he was eventually going to be in the universe.
It's
but
their
they
own.
wouldn't.
It's their own take. This wasn't.
So I'm saying, just like making Photon a mutant for what reason?
To
Like,
bring mutants in.
but you're
I mean,
What I
that's
mean,
the
though, is
easy
like-
answer right there.
is like mutants are kind of spontaneous and random. It's kind of convenient if you give this major player whose like mother's been related, not related, but you know what I mean, in relations with like Captain Marvel shit, and if somebody's just like been around this shit, to just be a mutant all of a sudden is kind of convenient.
Yeah.
It's gonna be convenient with a lot of people.
No, I don't think it is.
I think this whole season of stuff in WandaVision was streamlined with conveniences. Like,
Like what?
how did this happen? How did that happen? Just things just happened, and they just
What happened?
rolled out.
Oh, what? What do you mean? Like what?
Oh, yeah, that doesn't-
Give an example of something that
Like-
just happened that wasn't
like-
a result of Scarlet doing.
Okay,
Or
so
it
we
just happened
got
out of
Ralph
convenience.
Boner just out of nowhere. It just happened. He was just a guy that looked like Evan Peters.
Okay,
It's
that's
just
one thing.
That's
Okay,
Like,
I
that's
think
not
that's-
like giving a character superpowers and making them like way relevant for like the next.
But as far as like,
not to mention he ended up getting like Quicksilver powers. Like,
no, they took the Puka necklace.
I know, but he still got Quicksilver powers, which is weird. Like he was super fast, and he got to do all that. Like he did it with the kids too and everything.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You're just giving out superhero powers with magic.
Yeah, that's what magic is.
No,
Yeah.
that's not usually what magic is.
Yeah,
Magic. I've never seen magic in any format in the comics where they just give people powers without relics and stuff. Doctor Strange
He
just
did
does-
have a relic. It was a
yeah,
necklace.
he had the necklace.
I get that, but Doctor Strange never says bippity boppity boo, boom, you could have this power or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, if the Puka necklace is some kind of shrine or relic we learned about that gives out speed, that maybe would make sense, but I don't think
Again,
it was.
we're-
It was to make her think it's Quicksilver.
I'm lost.
he took off the necklace. Was he fast anymore?
No.
So
Okay.
the necklace was
So
a
the
that
relic.
was-
necklace, the
but that was a
necklace
s-
made him fast. The necklace made him. Everything about that made him seem like that.
That was also a spell. So she put all that into one spell, though.
Do you
Yeah.
remember in Doctor Strange when Baron Mordo talks about how humans and wizards and shit can't withstand certain spells, so they bind them to objects?
No.
You don't remember that when he throws him the staff and he's got the boots and they're fighting and they're doing fisticuffs. That's a whole scene that happens, and then Doctor Strange gets the cloak because that's his relic or whatever. That's he talks about like binding specifically super powerful magic, like the ability to fly to the
So they put a power in the Puka shell, and they put a personality in the Puka shell, and like a brainwashing
that could-
tool as
no,
well.
she was just able to brainwash him and control him.
No, because as soon as that came off, that's when he was free.
I don't remember him being like free. I don't remember him being like, "Whoa, what am I doing here?" I remember him.
Yeah, he was free from under the spell. So that Puka shell did more than just give out powers.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Can't
I'm
put-
saying.
you can't put two enchantments
yeah,
on one
Yeah,
item.
you can't do that. You could do that in Skyrim, so you could probably do that in
It's
fucking
not Skyrim.
reality.
I just
actually don't
I,
think you could put two enchantments on the same object. It's
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I just have never seen in
If you think about it,
Marvel
you
world.
actually have
You can combine
you have
them, I
increased
know.
magicka, and then you have destruction spell increase on the same
I
object.
guess.
So that's 2 enchantments.
I guess.
And actually, there is a tree in the enchantment where you can put 2 enchantments on the same item.
Yeah. Sorry, we're talking about Skyrim.
Yeah, a video game that you probably never played, Ernie.
We were talking about it earlier. Ernie has no interest in it.
no,
Really?
no.
I'm not surprised.
I don't-
It's not
I
a game he plays.
I don't think it's like Lord of the Rings and stuff, right?
No.
D&D.
It's just like fantasy in
It's
general.
fantasy. I don't know how you classify that fantasy world because it's just
Well, it's got like,
stereotypical
but it's also got like
fantasy.
Cthulhu-esque deities from the Great
Yeah.
Beyond and shit. Like it's a weird universe.
Yeah,
got
it's
sentient trees.
very odd.
and Lizard people.
What do you play
and-
as?
You can play
Anything.
as a cat person, elf, a dark elf, a high elf, a wood elf,
A Nord, a Bart, a Breton,
And they're-
Imperial.
and all the elves are races against each other.
Yeah.
So you have to build yourself one of those characters, and then you.
Well, you just play
you
as one.
either
And,
play
and
the
certain
game-
characters give you certain abilities, more or allow you to have better abilities. Like the high elf has more magicka, which means you're able to have more magic, just naturally and more magic. The cat person can see at night and has claws naturally.
And-
the same thing with the I think the lizard. No, the lizard could just swim.
You could be a lizard.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can be a lizard person.
Now, if you
There's also called a book in the thing
Can you
called
be a wolf?
No, that's
no,
Fuck that shit.
you could be a werewolf.
There are
That's cool if you're a
there are
werewolf.
tiger people from a whole different, like, there's a whole separate continent they haven't explored
With
yet.
a Khajiit.
No, they're a different race. There's
Oh,
also
really?
monkey people that live there. It's where the blades come from. You know how the blades have the very
Yeah.
Japanese style armor.
Okay.
That's all from the other continent.
Makes sense.
On the Tyrael is the name of the planet, or is it the name of the continent?
Tamriel is the name of the planet, or the name of the continent.
I can't remember. But yeah, there's a whole second continent they haven't explored yet, which I think that they'll do in Hammerfall because it's a coastal
Shit,
town.
maybe the Lord of the Rings is part of the same universe. Who the fuck knows? Because you can do that with this shit. Don't matter.
Why are you saying in such a badass way?
Because I don't know.
Because
Why
I'm
say
a
that? Why can't I just say it however I want to
baby.
say it? I don't know. I just do things.
Do you guys still want to talk about X-Men theories?
No.
No, you don't want to go down that route.
No, it's
Do you at least want to share yours since I've shared mine already?
no, because mine's very long and
Okay.
it'll draw and bore people out. But it's just because we've covered a lot of WandaVision, but it broke us into a lot of different thoughts as well.
Yeah, we had a whole preamble at the beginning.
WandaVision opened up a lot of doors of us talking about magical things, so we're able to talk about relics and speed and all kinds of crap. So that's fine. That's fun. I enjoy it.
I think we should build a boat.
For
And then-
what?
Just build a boat. I don't know.
You know,
Got me in the
it
mood to
was
build boats.
so-
I want to build a boat.
So I don't know what.
Is
It's
John,
better-
is John gone?
I don't know.
No,
He's
he had
outside,
he had a
I think.
call.
Oh.
But talking about boats,
Way to
so
break kayfabe,
I don't know
asshole.
where this came from, but there was an article talking about or video talking about Noah's Ark, right? And how they were trying to create a theme park around it,
The
right?
Noah's Park. Oh my god! The name writes it. Fuck itself.
And so they built the boat, and they were talking about how much money they spent on it, and
big
how
is-
outrageous it was to build it, and how long it took. It took like
And-
fucking 5 years
and
of modern
fucking
technology.
Noah did it all by himself.
and apparently
goddamn it.
Noah did it by himself.
With the power of God in anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the animals,
I mean, if he
the
had,
Eminals.
if there is a God and he's able to assist, like a Scottie Pippen assist, you know,
And
like,
he's just throwing it behind his back like Magic Johnson.
like maybe he could got it done with some like godlike powers. Like, come on, if Thor's gonna help you or something, you could get it done. But
I guess.
How's Thor going to help you build a fucking boat?
I mean, he's stronger.
he's strong and he can just put it together fast.
He can fly.
He can just super
Flex
speed.
tape.
You don't need to set up ladders. He just flies up. And goes
I saw this boat in
He
half.
just takes one hammer swing and then things already nailed in.
The only thing I don't get is the animals, one of each or two of each, and then like
It's almost like that. The whole Old Testament doesn't make any fucking sense.
Except for the fact that the flood, we do have
Yeah.
proof that happened, or
Yeah,
there have been major
well, don't
floods.
we have floods all the time?
Apparently, the
Well, no.
Sphinx isn't the original Sphinx. Apparently, like the Egyptians didn't build the Sphinx; it was some predecessor race.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it
well,
was
yeah,
like,
just because you can tell in corrosion.
no, there's examples of different
Yeah.
lines, and like there was a flood that wiped all through Egypt and buried
and the
everything.
flood happened before. That's why the Sphinx is corroded.
Let's go find the Library of Alexandria, guys.
Well, if we had social media back then, we would have pictures of it, and
yeah.
it'd be like COVID all over. again.
But no, we do have pictures of it
In
in,
our-
the sand of deserts out there. That's why you have
Dude,
the
we
waves and sand.
That's
Is
not a picture.
that
Dude,
is
I
a
can
picture of time.
Whoa, my brain
Yeah, man.
hurts.
That's
Dude,
just
that's some deep level shit.
But yeah, no, but like if you have like a lion next to a pig, the lion's not gonna eat the pig.
What?
How does that have anything to do with it?
In Noah's Ark,
You
like,
got cats on the brain, bro.
he's
Talking to me about
he's
saber
gotta
tooth
have
cats
a-
the other night.
He's got to have.
You
He's got
shut
to have.
down my brain for a second.
He's got to
because that
have a
came out of
lion and a
nowhere.
tiger, right? To
Yeah.
breed. Then you got to have a male pig and a
Okay,
female
so-
pig.
Here's an easy way to do it.
Oh, like bottom floor, top floor. I mean, the lion's gonna stay put.
Yeah, you cage. You put
Where
it
the
in
fuck
its
you
own
build a
stall.
cage? Oh my god!
Out of wood.
Yeah, man. I don't know,
lion
but I'm just
is
saying.
wood.
Yeah, wood's pretty dense and pretty hard.
Well, yes,
strong,
we're
especially after
all
you
on the
lacquer it.
same. We're all on the same.
You ever seen a lion tamer use a chair and he bites it and eats it?
Yeah, but
up?
we're all
No,
on the
I've
same
never seen a
page
lion-
that it doesn't
lion
make
tamer in my
sense.
life. Have you?
Huh?
You seen a lion tamer?
On videos,
What?
like on YouTube and stuff. I don't like none of that zoo stuff or
Zoo?
circus stuff.
Circus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like orcas. I'm not about that.
they're pretty cool.
I watched one movie about that shit, and I was like, we got to get all those orcas out of SeaWorld, man.
Oh, Free Willy, me too.
It's called Blackfish.
No, yeah, I know what you're talking about. But no, but like, it just, yeah, I get that we know that Noah's Ark. But I'm saying the other flaws to me are the animals, like, all staying put. And do you do that with insects?
No, because like a fly. He talks about how he doesn't have to collect any avian animals, and that's why the dove is the first thing that marks the end of the fucking.
Well,
So
thing
is there
is 'cause
just
the-
a million fucking birds and just only like a couple of each animal?
The flood apparently in biblical time lasted like a week, maybe.
But what's biblical week?
I don't know. We built the world in 7 days, so you tell me how long a biblical week is.
Maybe it was like 2 days, but it
Dude,
felt like a
next
week.
time I go through a whole week of work and it's been a long week, it's like, woo, that was a biblical week.
well,
man.
time is relative. So if you're in a flood and all you know is fucking
I don't think
And
that's
you'd
how
have to have
I don't think
food
that's how the
to
relativity
feed.
of time works.
fuck
though,
if I know,
Vince.
man. I don't know, dude.
If food to feed himself and all the animals.
Yeah, that's why he had the males and the females.
It was
'Cause
probably-
then they'd make babies and he'd just eat the babies.
Over a week?
Yeah.
Maybe time was different back then due to the gravitational
He just
pull,
ate a
how
bunch of
far away
rabbit
the
babies.
sun was.
Maybe he was the
Dude,
Doctor Who.
we have no idea how shit was back then. All we know is that probably didn't happen.
We know there's erosion.
They tried to build a tower to go find God, and then God scattered them all over the earth and then made them speak different languages.
What?
Tower of Babel.
You didn't know that's the story of the Tower of Babel?
yeah,
I
that's
know
the
in
story of
South
Tower of
Park they
Babel.
try to go up to heaven.
Yeah, so the whole Tower of Babel is they try to build this tower to try to be more like God and trying to get close to God. And God's basically like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, I'm God, you're not God. There's a reason there's a separation here. Stop trying to be me, be yourselves. And then he's like, well, this is what I get for allowing you guys to cooperate. So I'm instead of letting you guys cooperate, I'm gonna scatter you guys all over the earth. And
Sounds
you
like
speak
an
different
asshole
languages.
move. Like
It is
when
a-
you're stacking a blocks and you got a really good block
kicks it
going.
over.
He just like knocks it all over. Try again,
I mean,
motherfucker.
you see the same correlation with fire in with Prometheus bringing fire to humanity.
Say that one more time for me.
What?
Say that one more time for me.
Prometheus, right?
It's Prometheus.
Don't matter.
But it
Does
would
it-
make sense.
It does matter
it does
because if
matter,
we're going to
but-
correct him, we got to correct
Yeah, I
you
know.
and we got to correct me.
Pyrometheus kind of sounds familiar, more right? Because like pyro, I feel. But
No, it's Prometheus.
I know it's Prometheus.
Prometheus.
But it's the same kind of thing where he brought it down and then he was sentenced to a life of shit for it. And same thing with
he's-
humanity. That's why
I believe he was chained to a rock and an eagle every day came down and ate his liver.
Yeah, it is something.
And that was
fucked him.
that's like the first example of humans understanding that our liver regenerates.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
So
Yeah,
your
because his-
liver can regenerate from any size amount of it as long as it's still like cooked up. You know, you could cut a liver in half.
Yep.
So
and
he
it
had
will
his.
grow all the way back.
He had his.
He's a god. Well, he's a titan actually.
His liver was exposed.
He's chained up to a rock
Oh.
like this. And an eagle or a vulture would come down. I think it was an eagle because Zeus punished
Yeah,
him, and that was
yep.
Zeus's whole thing.
Yep.
Eagle would come down, land here, eat his liver, and fuck off. Through the night, he'd regrow his liver.
Wouldn't you
And then
just
the eagle would
die
come
without
back.
your liver?
No, he's a titan. That's not how being a titan works.
That's
I'm
not how
sorry.
being a god works.
Don't tell me you want me to explain Sisyphus.
But
to you
also,
next.
I mean, if you think about how you are in hell and heaven, like in hell, you will have your body regenerate and you won't die. Because is that the plane that you're in? Are you a god at that point? No, that's just probably the plane. So maybe that. Yeah, fuck.
well, you
I
know
don't
ethereal form.
It could be.
So
could
like,
just be
you just
all mental.
reconstituted from energy.
Yeah.
But
That sounds way too deep for something that's probably not true.
what do you mean?
Energy.
Well, like rebuilding your body in hell. Like, can you prove me there's hell?
No, that's a whoa.
That's what I'm
That's a
saying.
whole different argument. Asking me if I could prove to you hell exists.
That's what I'm saying. So how do I don't know that.
I'll kill myself, and in 3 days I'll come back and I'll let you know how it was.
Please do not do that.
You don't have Easter. You don't have Declan's Easter.
No, I just don't want to have that on me. You saying that, and then
And not come
the
back.
cops call and they're like, "Hey, we heard you guys talking, and you kind of talked him into it, so it's kind of your doing." Because you guys were talking about WandaVision, and all of a sudden you guys got onto Greek
Onto
gods
the Bible and shit.
and the Bible, and
I love talking about that stuff, man. I spent my whole time.
well, yeah. When you talk about your fandom, it turned to like, oh, I like mythical, crazy things.
Yeah, 100%.
I like dinosaurs.
You do. You talked about your off the other day.
I like
about it.
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I had to
Dinosaurs hella cool.
We,
I'm not gonna lie. I used to, as a child, watch a lot of
He-
dinosaur documentaries.
Yeah, he asked me about saber-toothed cats the other day, and I looked it up, and I discovered that saber-toothed cats aren't related to modern cats in any capacity. They're their own entire branch, and they all were wiped out, so there's no
Yeah.
remaining ancestors for them. But Did you know woolly mammoths were around when the pyramids are being built?
Yeah.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah.
Ernie doesn't think that's crazy. I think that's crazy. That's like 3,000 years ago,
Banthus.
man.
Yeah, it's just...
What are we cutting them open? Oh, they smell. I
That's
thought
a
they smelled bad
tauntaun.
on- Oh, you said a bantha. I'm sorry.
Well, it's-
Banthas
that's
are the
just
furry
because-
elephants.
That's just because the way we think of time in that is that we can't think of any creature, any human being smart enough to build the pyramids while the mammoths were around. Because if you think about how we portray any civilized species that fought the mammoths, we're what? Fucking Neanderthalic?
They were like secluded on like one island towards the back half of their existence. So I'm not saying like humans came in contact with them every day, but just
Yeah.
the idea that
Welcome
like,
to
well,
Jurassic
I mean,
Park.
some jellyfish are still alive from...
well, yeah, trees
Do
are
you
hella
really think
old.
there's jellyfish alive still from then?
Yeah.
There are.
I wish they tagged them back.
Also,
then
so
we know.
here's...
How do we
with stone.
How do you tag something and it lasts like 3,000 to 4,000 years?
I don't know, how does a jellyfish last so long?
Well, plastic doesn't last that. Oh, yeah, it probably does.
Cockroaches?
Not that long.
Well, I was talking to you too about alligators. How you
Well,
you were,
alligators don't last that long. They just
he
have,
was he was
they just have lived the species that long.
he was talking about, and he was asking me about like aren't dinosaurs just lizards? They're not.
No, they're
I
a
said,
bird.
what the hell
Yeah,
is
they're more related to a bird.
Tyrannosaurus Rex mean? That's what I kept saying.
And I'm like, that was in the 1850. That was like 1857.
Then why'd they change it?
Because
Because that's
found
not how it
they
works.
found inside the bones that there is
Marrow.
little indentions that you see on birds. So they're like,
Oh, so it's like a
shit.
tree where we get like
And their
these
hips
ears?
are also reversed
Yeah,
like birds are.
yeah.
That's what I
So
was
they-
telling
they
you.
look at, like-
Sauropods,
yeah.
theropods, man.
If
I
you
was
look at,
telling
like,
you.
ostriches?
Isn't that Grant's whole philosophy?
What?
They came from birds.
Yeah, that's
Jurassic Park.
that was his theory in the Jurassic Park,
But
and it
that-
turns out to be true.
But that wasn't.
But
But when did they discover that? Before the movie? Or
that was
after?
like after the movie. I
So-
think it was like a
so-
common scientific theory at that point, but it hadn't been proven yet.
Yeah.
It hadn't been scientific fact yet, and I believe now it's scientific fact. But like crocodiles don't have a direct ancestor because they've always been around.
Yeah.
You know, turtles too.
Mm-hmm.
Shit like that. Ernie
There's
was-
certain species out there that just always been around, or there was some
Nautiluses?
kind of form, or they came.
You
from
would think
Sharks?
something like whales would been around forever because
well, whales used to have
When they were
used to
deep.
look way different.
they
used to be
glowed
like have
up.
tiny short. Just don't ever say glow up again. Especially now, you got to make that TikTok. You got to show a primordial whale, and you got to play that song. Wait till I glow up, and then cut to a blue whale.
Is there a song?
Yeah, wait till I glow up.
Oh my God, I'm too old. That's the thing with TikTok is all these songs they're using to get viral. They're either making my ears bleed, and I never heard of them, or I maybe have heard of them and they're making my ears bleed. They're just really bad. Like,
Yeah.
songs nowadays suck. But
Yeah.
anyways, but yeah, I just hear kids nowadays say clout, glowed up.
Gloat
Dude,
up.
one of the terms
Glow,
that
that's glow up.
It's glow.
Glow.
GLO. You said gloat with a T.
It's GLOW.
Yeah, you said a T at the end.
Oh,
You said gloat.
it's just probably how he
Well, 'cause he
went
said-
glow up.
how I
So he-
speak.
Yeah,
no,
how
you
he
said clout
enunciated.
before that. That's why I think you did it.
But
Clout.
Clout.
I got so much clout.
I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
Good, because this isn't the Dino fucking hour, happy hour.
I gotta get
Whatever
some
the hell-
dino DNA.
And we were talking about that too. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't think that could really happen.
And I
What?
explained to him that extracting DNA from mosquitoes doesn't work. They don't preserve blood.
It's-
Doesn't preserve that
Yeah,
long.
it's dead cells.
And it's also a mix.
Yes,
it's
it
a
wouldn't
mix of
work.
shit.
But we have the pulled out mammoths out of ice.
I said the same thing to him.
But
You
I
guys
don't.
talk about the stupidest shit.
No, dinosaurs are cool, man.
No wonder John left. John came in for a second, breaking kayfabe, and then he left.
Well,
Do you know there were giant sloths that used to roam there?
yeah.
I've watched Ice Age, guys.
But
No.
like giant sloths.
So
like
they not only that, but there's also giant insects, like the size bigger than you because of the time frame.
I don't believe that.
they weren't as that big.
Yeah,
The bigger ones are the centipedes, and that's only because they're long.
yeah. There's still bugs that big.
Spiders are like the size
How
of my laptop.
through time do they get smaller?
Oxygen in
Yes.
the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's all about how
They
the
don't-
atmosphere
They
is.
don't breathe through a mouth; they breathe through their skin.
Yep.
So the more oxygen in the air, the bigger they can get.
That's why if you go in the
so
jungle,
centipede.
passively-
So young centipedes nowadays, when the grandpas are going, back in
Back in my day, I
Long
used to
time
be
ago.
like 20 feet long.
Well, you can also
Bro,
think
look at
about
Grandpa
how
trying to get all this
Well,
clout.
think about how the like when you go to the woods and the jungle, the insects are typically bigger.
God, you made me think. Sorry, you made me think of the
Ah,
Family
Tarzan.
Guy. No, the Family Guy thing where they're like, let's go. The two millipedes are like hanging out. And there's one more, and he's like, wait, are you a millipede? And he just what? He just whispers and counts on his legs, and it's like, wait a minute. But
back then,
yeah,
there
fuck.
was more trees because humanity decided to just say fuck it.
Also,
But back, I mean,
more
now there's
oxygen in the
still
atmosphere.
there's still
is-
jungles and stuff like that.
Yeah,
yes, but imagine the world being like that. Everything
world a
being like
jungle?
that. Well, there was no pollution. There's nowhere to suck out.
Holy Jumanji.
Well, currently, actually, I believe there are more trees on Earth than there have ever been on Earth. Isn't that crazy?
They're probably just not as big as they used
So
to.
why don't we
because
got
they're
big-ass
such a
bugs?
combined
Because
vibe.
we've created orchards.
Yeah.
You guys just created a hole in your whole logic then. There's no big millipedes.
No.
No.
What?
What?
So the
Have you guys seen,
closer you put the
What?
closer you put plants together, that means the less likelihood for them to actually be able to grow huge because they're taking nutrients from other sources.
Have you seen Pixels? They fight centipedes in it.
I have not seen Pixels yet.
No.
It's great.
It's just because I heard such a mixed review
That
on
movie
Pixels.
You
sucks.
should watch and make your own.
I know, but during that time frame, movies were all garbage, and I actually
There's a lot of garbage movies, but still,
You like a lot of garbage movies.
it was all.
I know how to.
like great movies.
I know how to just enjoy like fun movies.
Oh, dude, I watch
Like Pacific Rim.
C and D movies. I watch garbage.
well,
movies.
yeah, that's the difference. There's garbage
But-
movies, but there's also movies that they put money into.
Like Pacific Rim.
And Pacific Rim's a great movie. I think,
Yeah, but
I think
nobody thinks it's a great movie except
people
for
are,
us.
people are high. It's
not
the
a great movie.
The logic behind
That
it's
movie's
really
awesome.
cool. The idea of that, like you have to sync with someone to control.
Dude,
things.
he hits the fucking kaiju
You have
with
to
a
share your
battleship. With a,
dirtiest memories with your partner and trust them.
dude, he hits the thing with a baseball bat. Like, remember when he grabs the fucking oil tanker and he
It's
just
cool.
that's
It's
such a good
cool.
movie.
It's big things fighting big things.
Well,
Welcome to the apocalypse.
I still think the social aspect.
He just
of it
helps
is
us in
good.
that movie, bro. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
his nose keeps bleeding because he controlled one of the
Oh yeah.
Jaegers by himself one
Yeah.
time. But so did the other dude, but he did it okay.
Yeah.
His brother died.
Uh-huh.
Good movie.
It's a good movie.
Good movie. That's a good one.
We should watch the TV show and do a podcast episode.
Oh yeah,
on it.
there is a cartoon of it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a cartoon movie. I think
It's like more
Interesting.
anime-y style.
Ooh, I like that.
I did
It's
it,
CGI though.
That's still fine because
It's-
there's a few Final Fantasy movies where CGI is.
It kind of gave me that vibe.
I've tried to watch one of the Final Fantasy movies.
It's
and I
so
literally
weird.
could not watch
It's
it.
so odd. It doesn't make any sense with any of the other ones that they come up with.
The best CGI animated show I think I've ever seen is probably
Reboot.
Definitely not a reboot.
Reboot was great, dude. You have no idea.
in like 19 whatever.
1990 or so, dude. It was so flawless.
It looks awful nowadays, though, right?
All right, what were you saying?
Do you ever watch Dorohedoro? It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix exclusive. It's like about
Probably not. No.
It's like some post-apocalyptic world, and there's like two different worlds. There's like an actual post-apocalyptic world, and there's a world. There's a world where all these like wizards live, and they make contracts with demons and shit. It's just it's
Interesting.
It's bizarre. You are not if you watch it. I think you'll enjoy it, but it's bizarre. Like there's no real
How
bad
bizarre?
guys. There's no real bad guys
How bizarre.
because
Bizarre.
the bad guys you get like episodes that's entirely from their perspective, and you kind of learn to like them, and like you're not really sure like what the whole point of it because they like there's a big like the main character has to do this, and like halfway through the first season he basically just figures it all out. Then from there just insanity ensues. They play baseball at some point.
All right.
Dude, there's a huge trope in anime of beach episodes and baseball episodes. For some reason, they like to have an episode where they go to the beach and an episode where they all play baseball. There's there's this great anime called Samurai Champloo. It's like takes
Is
place.
it shampoo or shampoo?
Champloo.
I thought it was shampoo.
No, it's spelled with the CH too. It's no SH. It's Champloo.
Good shit. That's good.
But
Is
they
it?
play baseball in an episode against a bunch of Americans, and the Japanese voice actors do the Americans in English.
That's pretty cool.
So they're talking English, but it's
but is
so
it
funny
broken,
because
though? Like broken?
kind of, but the Japanese interpretation of what Americans were like back in like the 1800s is fucking hilarious. Because they're a bunch of these fat white guys, and they're just like way too confident about it. I think they get
much has changed.
I think a dog is part of their team when they play. The Japanese get a dog to play on their baseball team.
I mean, I'm not shocked.
It's pretty great.
God damn.
I got something stuck in my throat.
I know what it is.
Good content.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we end this podcast? My back's starting to hurt and I'm tired.
Oh my god.
Well, that's it, everyone. That
Declan's tired
was
carrying us.
a
Hey,
podcast.
That was a podcast. That's a podcast.
Was a podcast. Catch us on all the platforms, of course. Look for us everywhere. YouTube, iTunes, all that good stuff.
Check me out on
sponsored by Best
SoundCloud.
There Is Games on your SoundCloud.
Yes, you
my
didn't plug that in
SoundCloud.
at the beginning.
I plugged it in now. At the end.
Yeah, good stuff.
I'll plug it in right now.
Plugging it in. The
In your
Best There Is
anus.
Games. Pick up stuff. You can't pick up Pokemon right now, sadly, because it's all sold out. But anyways, you can get other things, fun things. We'll even sell you
Magic things, Satan things.
Just no sex toys.
No. I will not sell that. No.
No.
We are friendly. But
Only homemade sex toys.
No sex toys. We're
We just get a bunch of
family
we just get a
friendly
bunch of Pringles
establishment.
cans.
we're a family friendly establishment. We're not really that family friendly of a podcast, I feel. But whatever.
We're
I
not a
mean,
That's it. Thank you.
See ya.
were you going to defend yourself?
No.
You tried, but it was like...
I wasn't trying to defend myself per se.
Just
I was
stop
gonna
before something else gets said.
That was a podcast.
Yep. That's it. Thank you guys.
Bye.